Hey, Brian. You're muted. I can hear you out there. There.
Hey, how are you?
Hey, good. How you doing, Matthew?
Very good.
You go by Matthew or Matt?
Either or is fine.
All right.
I'm not one to worry about it.
All right. I just got off the. We just got done with our advisory council for the for a user group. So they should be jumping in here soon.
User group was last Friday, right?
Huh? What's that?
You said your user group was last Friday, right?
Yeah, it was last week, last Thursday.
Last Thursday. How'd it go?
Good. All right. Let me. Thank you, Brian. Looks like we got people there. I'm gonna allow people to unmute themselves here. But no, it went well. There you go. Brian, you should be able to unmute yourself now.
Oh, thanks, but I really have nothing to say.
Oh, no, just making sure, because no, thank you for letting me know, because if somebody wants to say something, they were not going to be able to do that.
Makes sense.
I always forget that because I use the webinar feature for this one, and it mutes everybody automatically. So we'll just give a few minutes. Looks like we got people joining here, so we'll give them just a few minutes. I know it's hard, when people have back-to-back meetings, getting off one, jumping on the other one, using the restroom in between. Some of you might be walking to the restroom with your headset. Not that I never done that, no. But no, Matt, no, the user group was good. We had it was downtown, so we have a little bit of lower attendance that we would like to have. Last year we were hitting around 100. This time, which is a little bit over 50. So we're trying to figure out, why was that? So it looks like the location, the downtown location, was not the most was not to people's favorite. It was not that popular. The drive, also, like parking and things like that when it comes to Chicago downtown. So, but overall, I mean, the location was pretty cool. It was right there by Wrigley Field, next to it. And then we had the opportunity to have a tour of the stadium. And
Fun.
yeah, a little bit of history there. Huh?
You get to go behind the scenes and check out the dugouts.
Oh yeah, we were in the
nice.
dugouts, and they took us to one of the locker rooms, not the ones for the Cubs, because they still have I guess they keep personal belongings there. But we went to the visitors, which was originally the Cubs locker room area. So I mean, he was just saying things like, Babe Ruth was in this room. So people were excited. He sat right there. So it's been remodeled, obviously, over the years, and yeah, they were giving a lot of history as we were walking around. It was cold and windy when we were out. That was made it a little uncomfortable for some people, but no, it was a good time. We always have fun there, connecting with all the partners. So I'm going to give 1 minute, one more minute. We're going to start at 3:05 here. In the meantime, what I'm going to do is just share my presentation here so we can get it started. And I've updated these slides right after lunch. So I've been trying to play catch up with after being out last week, and it's been interesting this week with a few fires. So if I mess anything up on the slides, I'll correct them as I go through them. Okay. Well, I said 3:05, so let's go ahead and get started because I know you have a lot of content you want to share with us, Matt. So I got my screen ready. All right, so good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for joining us this afternoon, this Thursday. We are very excited about. I'm excited about this session. As you know, these are partner-led virtual sessions that we do for everybody on how to either use some of the products, learn new features, or learn from partners, all the partners like everybody in the room, and be able to interact. So today we're going to be talking about the ConnectWise University. The reason this came up, just talking to all the partners. Somebody raised their hand, and they actually was Marcy, one of the other facilitators. And she said, "Hey, you know what? There's a new university out there, and I've been struggling, on using some of the things and features, and it will be nice to have a conversation about how to use a university while those new things are out there, the benefits, the reasoning behind it." So that's how we came up with it. So with that, I want to encourage everybody that if you have any suggestions or any ideas, just let us know. We will be able to, we will find the resources. We work together. All the facilitators, we talk on a regular basis. We have our advisory council for our region. And we really want to make these sessions, these virtual sessions, and the in-person sessions worthwhile. Again, this is partner-led. The purpose is to create engagement in our community. So please ask questions. We have a Slack group that I will post that on the chat here in a little bit. But we do have a Slack group if you want to join that. That's a great place to do all those things. Put out there any comments, be able to make any suggestions. You can reach out to me through the Slack. And as you start all these conversations, you can connect with other partners. You can create great connections, great friendships, and help you through your business. We host these every month, and this is our upcoming sessions. So for all those all those individuals in the Philly area, next month it will be your in-person user group at Adventure Aquarium. You should be getting some notifications out there. If you have not, just check the university, go to the user group section, and you will be able to register for that event because registration is open. Also next month, we're going to have virtual all around the hyper automation inside of ConnectWise. So we'll be talking a little bit of Psychic and RPA. And then we also have our open mics. So you see that we have open mics every month, and these are great ways to come in and have conversations between partners. I have shout out there. I don't know if Jonathan is with us, but last month or a couple of weeks ago, it was actually in March, we did have a great conversation. And Matt, I'm sorry, Jonathan was actually sharing information about like QBRs and how they do it. So we were able to learn a lot from the things that he was sharing. That's the whole purpose of this. For our friends in Dallas, also the user group, the link to register is open. And in May, there's also one for Tampa, and that information is still not available. So just keep your eyes open for any emails, or just go to the university, and you will be able to find information on that. And as you can see, We have thread coming over in May, and then in June we just talk about maybe switching some things around, maybe all around marketing. The days are probably going to be the same on June 13th and June 20th. So just keep your eyes open for all that communication. In the meantime, just mark your calendars for those days. And I wouldn't be a good facilitator if I didn't remind everybody the IT Nation Secure is coming up in June. Registration is open. So if you want more information on that, again, just go to the university and you'll be able to find that. One thing I do want to mention that this session is being recorded. We will post that later on, and you will be able to review it. Or if you saw something great, like, hey, I wish somebody within my organization would have seen this, feel free just to share it with them. So you will receive an email probably tomorrow, and you will have the link to this, if not Monday. We always have a call for speakers, so we want our partners to share their experiences with us. We are growing. We're making. We have good traction on that. We have a couple of partners that are willing to share and participate. If you need any assistance from any vendor or anybody from the ConnectWise team, we can partner you with them. And you can do these sort of presentations. Again. You can do this virtual, you can do it at the share events, or you may have an opportunity also to take that and replicate it into the IT Nation events, such as your Secure or the Connect. Before we get started, make sure that we use the chat if you want to ask any questions. I'll be monitoring the chat. You can unmute yourself if you have any questions as well. So we enable the option for you to unmute yourself. So please ask any questions, because we want this to be interactive. And with that, I am going to now pass it along to Matt. Matt is the Senior Director of Education at ConnectWise. He's been with ConnectWise for a while now, probably about 6-7 years. And he's been leading the whole ConnectWise University. And this is a tool that we use, obviously, to train our employees, right? So if you are onboarding your team and you're providing them with the content inside the university, the way that all this is being presented, Matt has been leading that. Like I said, for the past 7 years, but he also has a vast experience when it comes to online education and training. So with that, Matt, feel free to share your screen.
We'll do so.
And take it away, buddy.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and get started on this. As mentioned, please feel free to jump in. You can ask a question, chat. You can just interrupt me as well. And I will try to stop and have some room for that. I do apologize about the voice a little bit. It is allergy season down here in Florida, and it is killing me right now. So I am coming from the ConnectWise headquarters down in Tampa right now. And I am struggling a little bit, so I apologize for the voice. Go through. Juan did a nice job at introducing me, so I'm not going to spend too much time on this. Just outside of the ConnectWise University, so with ConnectWise Education, also have all the technical documentation that you see in the university, some internal training, and then also at the user groups, if you've gone to any of the training sessions where some of our software training consultants are presenting on the products, those all reside on my team as well. So you probably met some of my team members. I think I had Neil and Rob in Chicago last week. So kind of what I was planning on to go through is, first off, just why the change. Yep. Thank you, Scott. Yes. So why the change? And then admin functionality. I don't know how many people are admins in the university and how many people are just users. But I think most of the frustration that we have heard from the change has been on the admin side. So I'm going to cover some of that. And then we also talked about some reporting, the end user functionality, and then go into a little bit of what's coming next in our roadmap. One of the things that I tell partners is that this change in the university was not the end of a journey for us, but the beginning of one. We're trying to set the foundation to really be able to do new and innovative things as we move forward and make the experience better. And we needed a new system to start building on to do that. But the question I get is why? Why did you do this? And so I do want to just spend a second on that. The why is really one of the necessity for us. And it might not have been visible to partners in general who came in and used the university, because that system was purpose built for our MSP partners to come in and train their employees and use it for onboarding. And so everything worked as it was intended for that use case. The problem was on the back end. That system was about 15 years old, 16 maybe, and just wasn't scaling for us very well as we grew. So we needed to find something that could scale, could grow, could be more adaptive, and wasn't all hard coded on the back end. So anytime we had a change of, let's say, a product name, or we got a new product in, that would have to go to our internal development team, who would have to code that into the university. So it was everything was hard code, no low code. And now we have that control over that configuration ourselves. We'll be able to move more quickly. But more importantly for us, it was a compliance issue. The old university that we had before wasn't what's called SCORM compliant or XAPI compliant. So it didn't fit with any e-learning standards. It didn't work with any e-learning standards. So every time that our authoring tool that we used made a change to their system, we would have to then go out and then make a change so that our content would play again on the new system. And as we've gone to this cloud world where releases on products are happening so fast, we couldn't keep up anymore. And we went through a time about 8-10 months ago where we had 2 months where we couldn't even add new content to the university. We were just spinning wheels trying to just troubleshoot issues. So we needed to move something that was hosted, compliant, and would kind of work for us moving forward. Lots of other reasons too, but those are the big ones for you. So just kind of want to jump in, if no questions yet, a little bit on that admin functionality, specifically assigning courses and learning plans and what that looks like. As you come in, if you are a partner admin or an admin at home right now, that equates as a power user in the LMS. So basically, we've created administrative permissions within the learning management system in the university for our partner admins to come in and be able to come into the back end and assign training. Because it is actually back-end administration instead of a user interface, it is not quite as user-friendly as the old system when it comes to assigning training and courses. Something that we're working on, we know that. When you come in, there are 2 ways to get to these partner functions. You can use the little wheel up at the top right, or you can use the hamburger menu on the left. Either way can get you to your admin functionality. Hit the hamburger menu, there is a train your team page. Named it the same thing as the last one. Come into train your team page. As you go through, you can go, this page itself is only available to our partner admins. The one thing that I want to point out is this top little bar on here when you come in. This has a date of 2/20, was probably the last update when I made this PowerPoint, but we are constantly releasing things to improve that partner admin experience. And when anything new comes out, we're going to post it right here at the top of this page with the date, and give you that more information on it. So we updated some of the reporting last month. We have another update coming out on that I'll go over, which is our new video library, which is coming out at the end of the month. That'll be posted here. But then as we just do like little things that try to make people's lives easier, we're going to put that here so you know about it and know to take advantage of it. So you can check this out when you come into the Train Your Team page. If you scroll down to the bottom of that same page, there is a set of partner admin resources. These are a collection of videos and documentation that are built just for the admin features. And as we make improvements to the way we go about assigning training or finding coursework, we're updating this documentation, updating these videos as well, so that these are staying current. But again, these resources are here just for our partner admins to run through any documentation or watch a quick how-to video on how to do something that they're looking to do. Basically, on the middle of that page, there are 3 links to take you to different places than as an admin. How to assign individual courses, how to assign role-based learning plans, and how to run reports. One of the things that is different and obviously creates a little bit more difficulty is that assigning courses or assigning learning plans, which are our new degrees, are on different pages. So you have to go to different areas of the system to do both of those things. That is the current setup. Hopefully we can make some improvements to that as we move on. But you would go to one link for courses, another for learning plans. So I am going to brave this and try to do a live demo in a presentation. So give me 1 second. I'm going to pull that up. Oop. And give me 1 second. I might have to escape out of this presentation for just a second. There you are. All right, does everybody see, or did I just get Wanda confirmation that you're seeing the LMS now?
Yep,
Okay, thank you.
I can see it from here.
All right. So again, as I just came in, I just clicked over to the Train Your Team page where I just showed, and you see there's already a new announcement from today on the some new updates that we've made for partner admins in here. This was actually, Juan was talking about a conversation that he had with Marcy earlier. This came from a conversation that he had with Marcy, I had with Marcy about one of the difficulties she was having, and that was not seeing the duration of the degrees or learning plans in the description anymore. So when she was assigning out the training, she didn't know how much time those were taking when she was blocking people's calendars. So this was an update that we just made over the last week. And now that average completion time has been added back to the learning plans description. So you'll see that as one of the first things that are viewable when you look in the assigning learning plans. Clicking into assigning learning plans, this is what you'll see. So the hard part is there is a lot. As you go through, there is a lot of different content on here. And so searching through all of these learning plans can be a little bit onerous. There are 113 of them. The search does work if you know what you're looking for. So that is the first thing. What I suggest though, before trying to get the exact name of a learning plan, is if you're doing PSA or what was managed, you can search for just PSA and it will filter to all of the PSA specific learning plans in there that you can go through. So you can make this list much more manageable. Same thing if I'm trying to do CPQ, I can go down that list of just CPQ lesson plans and see what we have available there. The code corresponds with the product along with the lessons. If you look at the description, it tells you how many different training courses are in that specific learning plan. This has 8 e-learning courses, 2 hours and 22 minutes average time to complete for the ConnectWise CPQ sales representative. From there, you can click right in this icon here where it says courses, and it'll give you the full list of all of the courses that are within that learning plan. To assign, if you want to assign this to users, you can come to the enroll users button. I'm going to go back out here to use my same example. Jump into a course, assign users, and here you can select one or multiple users and then go ahead and confirm and assign that training. Now that is complete. They'll have that on their transcript page when they come in. One of the other differences within the system when it comes to assigning the learning plans and the courses is there is not an immediate email that is generated. So when I did this, there is not an immediate email that comes out that says you've been assigned this course. What we've done is we have a weekly digest that is sent on Monday. That includes any new training content that was assigned during that previous week. And so it'll come out in a full digest with the entire list of content that someone was assigned. So again, if you know exactly what you're looking for, you can search it. For the ConnectWise PSA dispatcher, come right there. Again, I could go ahead and enroll users, assign users, do that to one person, to everybody, however I wanted to do that, and move on. If you see there are groups and branches here, this is something that we don't have completely set up. We don't have any groups created right now that would apply. The branches though is just your branch. So this is another way. If you have a lot of users, for example, and you want to assign to everybody at one time, you found a course that you wanted to give to the whole group, you could click on everybody and assign to everybody at once. All right, I'm going to stop right now just to see if there is any feedback, any questions that people have on the learning plan process. All right, I'm going to take silence as my opportunity to keep moving. Back on the train your team page, I know that some of the options, some of our learning plans, not everybody wants to use them as they are. Maybe not everything applies, and they prefer to assign a set of individual courses out. That can be done through assign individual courses. This is the interface can look a little bit even. One, it's a little bit more intimidating because of the amount of content. You see there's 845 courses that make up our content library that we make available to all of our partners. That's a lot of information. On the other hand, it is a little bit more user-friendly because we do have folders on the left, excuse me, that you can use on this that helps it out. It's not real intuitive. So if you do use the system and you haven't clicked on this yet, you can dive in, click on that folder, go to business management. I'll use CPQ again, click on CPQ, and here you have all of the items, the 20 out of the 87 that are available for CPQ. And you can go this route as well. You can, from this page, if you want to select multiple items, you can select as many items as you would like. So if you have your own set of courses that you like to assign out to users, you can select all of those at one time. From the choose action down here, you can put enroll users. And then you can do one or multiple users here as well. So if you have a list of courses that you want to give to every new employee, you know what they are, and you want to come in here, you can select all the courses, come in here, select the user, and go ahead and assign everything at one time. Again, I do recommend using the folder structure to dig in. So same thing if I have a bunch of, if I'm looking for automate specific, come in here, all my automate coursework is right here as well. You can manage enrollments from up here as well. If you wanted to, this would be through an upload file. So if you had a big group of users you wanted to, you could upload them and assign them to courses that way. Usually not the best, unless you're doing something in mass. It's easier to use the choose actions down here and enroll users. Other thing that I will point out, if I come into here, I'm going to do patch management overview. You can click in to any one of these lessons and see who is enrolled in there and run a report directly on that report as well. If you wanted to see that, you can see any learning plans that was assigned to as well. So I don't have anybody enrolled here in my test user, but I can come in here and add an enrollment here. So there's lots of ways to kind of dig in and see what how you want to move forward. From this page as well, though, if you do click into something from that course management page, there is a learner view up here, which can be beneficial if you're not sure you found what you're looking for. From this button here, I can click learner view and pop right to the actual course and jump in and find out exactly what this is. This one happens to be a webinar, not a lesson, so it's going to be a video to play. But you can come right into this area and jump on that. From here, there's some other features that we have as well, which is this share feature. I can come in here and copy this. So if this is something you don't necessarily want to assign, but you want to share with somebody else in your organization, and this will go for any course video that we have, they have that share link available now. You could say, this would be really great for so-and-so, click copy and send that to anybody that you'd want to. We also have a playlist feature. This is something that we haven't done a lot of talking about yet because I'll now explain this a little bit more when it comes to our video library that we're coming out. But you can add this to a playlist and you can create a playlist of your own. So if I wanted to create a new playlist and say, hey, this is my new RMM new feature playlist that I want everybody to check out, I can create that, add that here, and as I go through, I can create an individual playlist and add all the content that you want. Everybody has the ability to do this now. And then once you've created something and you've published it, this is published just to your organization. You can come out here and you can add content to it. You can delete it. But again, this will be something that once you have completed that playlist, you would be able to then share out the playlist link to anybody on your team. And so they could go through a set of content that you had wanted somebody to look at. One more thing that I'm going to show, and I'm going to go through a couple slides on this in a minute, but while I'm actually doing the demo, just want to point it out. One of the things that we're going to be moving towards with the new system, and I think the release at the end of this month, is a new video library. So we'll be leaving our current video library in the university and moving to a system like this, where we have channels for every one of our products. So if you came to this page, which is a video library, you would see for example, PSA channel, PSA how-to videos and webinars, and you would see automate PSA videos and webinars, etc. And from there, one of the features that we've added is that you will be able to then, any user, an admin or a regular user, something that they're interested in or they use on a regular basis, they can click the follow button. And at that point, any new content that is added to that channel or that stream, they'll get a notification. Hey, new content's been added to this channel you were following. So as some of our products that are developing a little bit more rapidly, like if you're an RMM client and the features are coming up pretty quickly on that, as we release new content, new how-to videos, you'll get notification, hey, a new how-to video has been created. Hey, a new webinar was recorded. Maybe you couldn't attend, but it'll be added to the stream. You'll get a notification that is there. And if I come back to, I'm going to go to my home. The other thing that is different is that home page. This is something we're still, refining. But if you scroll down, there is an area called activity stream. So all the courses you are enrolled in will be on the left, but on the right is that activity stream. And from that activity stream, you will see anything new that has been added to a channel you follow or any new content that's been assigned to you will show up on this activity stream in this list. All right. With that was kind of the, I also want to point out there is a notification button up here. And this will also show up in the notifications if new content's been assigned to you as well. So there's a couple places where you're notified within the system that there's something for you to look at. I'm going to take a second now, stop the live demo piece and jump back into the slideshow. But again, I want to stop. And now that I've kind of walked through the system while I'm in here, is there anything else anybody particularly wants to see? I'm going to jump back in here then. And to just talk a little bit about that new video library launching 3/29, so that is coming up next week. It'll be in that drop down that you see there. There is more information on the home screen right now. So if you want to learn more, you can click there and there's an FAQ. Again, talked a little bit about what it's going to look like, automate how-to videos, automate webinars, different channels. You can follow them. The button that is up on the top right with the arrow is a share button, so you can share that content out with someone if you wanted to as well. But there's also going to be some new features that our video library we'll be able to roll out that we didn't have before. So when you go into the video, it's still going to have the video player, the description, but there's going to be some other items in there as well. One of those is kind of next recommended content. So once you watch something, what are other things that you might be interested in? At the bottom, though, we're also going to roll out the ability to like comment on a video. If you have anything you want to say on this how-to video, it's like, this is great, but that's not the way we do it. We do it like this. And be able to share some of your own best practices around some content that we have. We've enabled that. We also have Ask the Expert. So all of our software training consultants, again, that same group of people that show up at the user groups and train on our products, they're going to monitor this. And if someone has a question on a how-to video that they watched, you can ask the expert and one of them will come back in and answer that question for you right there in that stream. So we can actually have some discussion and discourse around the content rather than it just being, we're throwing this out there and hope it works for you. We're hoping that this really makes an impact as we move forward on, just the interaction with some of the content that we have and the usefulness of these videos and webinars. Again, there will be some features at the top on how to share. You'll be able to share the content as well. You'll be able to add to a playlist right from here as well. And those playlist features, again, we'll be able to share those out, curate your own playlist. You can have as many as you want. They'll be yours personally. You can have them private. If you just want to keep stuff off to the side, you want to come back and look at, basically a way to favorite things, or they can be ones that you curate and save with different team members that you have. Quick bit on the reporting. I think the reporting is also something that people have struggled a little bit with, and understandable. It's way more complicated because we've basically given our partner admins everything. Here it is. You have free reign. Go create your own custom reports. So, which makes it a little bit more complicated, but you can actually drive at anything that you want to see, which we couldn't do in the old system. Basically, the old system was you pick a degree, you can run a report and see who completed it, and you'd have to do a separate report for every single degree or course that you were looking for. Whereas in here, we have a custom report builder. So you can come in and hit plus and start from scratch, or you can pick one and duplicate it if you want to do something else. And you can create anything that you want in here to have a report that you save that you can come back to, and that will have exactly what you're looking for. So it'll take a little bit more time on our partner side to set this up, but I think it is way more powerful and useful for them once it is set up. So you can take all those learning plans, so you can create separate reports by department if you wanted to, by group, by individual, by learning plan, by course. However you wanted to set that up, you can create your own reports in here, save them, come back to them, and they're already configured for you next time. From there, you can also export them however you want. You can take a preview in the system before you do to make sure it's configured the way you want. But you can select what the correlation is. Are you running this report on users and courses? Learning plans on everybody. So if you wanted to do everybody, you could just go into users and click everybody, or you could do that group and branches. It's going to be the same thing for you. Select everybody. And decide each one could be multiple learning plans, one learning plan, multiple courses, one course, etc. that you come in here and configure the way you want it to be. Once you've done that, you have different options on there that you can set up. You can decide, you select what courses, what users, how you want that to display. You have the ability to show exactly what columns will show on that report when it comes out. And you can schedule this as well. So if this is a report that you are running on a new training that you're running for a group of new employees, you have 2 or 3 new employees, they're going through the training, you can schedule this to run every day and be in your inbox in the morning. So you get a report, you don't even have to log into the system. And so you can see get that regular cadence of reporting on the training that's going on. Again, once you've saved your changes, you can preview it from here, and you can also download the report directly from this last page in that report as well. So I got a duplicate slide there. All right. Only a couple more slides. And again, please feel free to jump in and interrupt me at any time if you have any questions. And we can do that. Again, I talked a little bit about that box that is on the Train Your Team page for partner admins with announcements, the things that are coming soon. We have the same thing on the home page for anything that might be coming out for all users, not just admins, but all users. That will be here. Talked a little bit about the end user experience with the enrollment summary, everything that they're enrolled in with that activity stream on the right that says that anything that's new that's in there. The filter on the enrollment summary will allow users to filter by content that is new, content that's in progress, or content that's completed. Oh, there it is right there, and that started, in progress, completed. Activity stream. There are learning plan catalog degrees, so any one of our users can also go and self-serve. They don't have to wait to training to get assigned. They can come into this catalog as well and find the content that they're looking for. They come in, they will see all the different categories. So we have business management learning plans, UMM learning plans, whatever that is under the different categories we have. You can use a categories folder, just like on the back end, to dig into something, or you can click on this business management learning plan and go directly into a page that is just for that and open that up. And it'll show all of the content within that learning plan. So lots of different ways to dig into it. And then you can just self-enroll in any content that you want. Click on it, hit assign. I didn't spend as much time on the end user experience as I did on the admin experience, but I'm open to any questions if you have any as well. Just wanted to give you a quick roadmap. Like I mentioned at the very beginning, we're making changes every day, trying to improve the system and the way it works. And as I mentioned, this is the beginning of a journey for us, not the end of a journey. The video library is the next thing that's coming up. We're also moving all of our badging for our certifications into the system so that if you get a certification from us and you want to share that out on a LinkedIn or another social network, you'll have that badge there and the share link that you can share right from the system. We are doing a lot where we're kind of democratizing the ability to come into the system and share content. So what I mean by that is before it was always education, creating content, and ConnectWise Education Department, creating content, putting it out to our partners. But we're expanding that across the organization, allowing other groups to come in and create content to get out to partners as well. The one that I'll call out in that list is our partner program. So the partner program has done a lot of great enablement content for our partners to, grow their cybersecurity business or their BCDR business or whatever that may be. But it's been, you had to register for the partner program to get access to that, and they had a separate portal. Well, all that content is now being moved to the LMS. It'll be there in its own category. Anybody will have access to that, I think, starting next month. So all that great content will be available to anybody. And we're allowing them to create content, add it without going through us. So that should be able to increase the pace that we get great stuff out to our partners without everything having to come through a process where the education team has to touch it and approve it and push it out. We are doing some identity management updates. Just kind of give you a preview of this one. It will impact you at some point. Right now, anybody that comes into home and gives someone a home basic role, that gives them university access. Eventually, a university is going to become its own role in home. So when you're creating a new user, if you want them to have university access, you're going to have to select that as an actual permission. Doing that just to make sure that we're only creating users that are intending to use the university rather than creating a bunch of unintentional users. We're going to start seeing some more vendor training in the university as well. We've had WebRoot for a while, but now we're going to pilot another program with Acronis to get some of their certifications in there. And so we're going to see if we can expand that to other vendors that, work closely with ConnectWise. Can we get more content that's not just on ConnectWise products in the university? So we'll see that rolling out this year as well. And also for an event program. So anybody that has done the event program and knows what that is, they have a bunch of content that's kind of that was developed for that Pitch It contest that happens at Connect. We're going to put that out there for people as well if they want to, if they're interested in it. So we'll see some new stuff coming out as we move forward, and hopefully this will continue to build both in the content and in the actual structure of the system to be a place where you can go for everything you're looking for training needs. Other thing that I did want to point out is there is a new icon up in the top right called What's New. We update this on a quarterly basis, and if you go down this page, it's going to tell you everything that we have added to the university. What is all of our new content in the that last quarter? So you can go to a list of all new assets. But if you look on there, there's also a list of retired assets. So anything that we've deprecated has gone away. So it's like, I can't find this. I've been looking for it. It might be in there, but we have everything that's new. You miss it, it's almost like our LMS release notes are going to be on this page on a regular basis. You can see what we're releasing and pushing out. So that new assets page, you can get the list of new videos, new documentation, new e-learning content. It'll all be on that. And as we move forward again, one of the things too, just so you know, we have everything embedded within this header and the university, and that is so that you have everything in one place. All of our drops down in there. Anytime that you're on a page and you're like opening up a learning page or opening up my learning plans, you can right click and hit open in a new tab and open that in a full screen and lose the header. For me, when I'm working there, assigning training, looking for something, that's just a nice little trick that makes life a little bit easier. Gives me more real estate to work with. And so I don't actually go into the university. Sometimes I'll just save one of those pages and go directly to it. So that is always an option. The URL too, if you want to go to mylearning.connectwise.com, is the actual learning management system outside of the university shell. You log in the same way. There's no difference. You'll go right in. You won't have all that stuff at the top. So if you want to, scroll around to documentation or use the search, but again, if you're working at assigning training courses or learning plans, I do find this a little bit easier just to have more screen space. Always have the upcoming training events on that homepage as well. There's some recent webinars on here and that we have just done, but there's always webinars coming up. The education department usually does 2 to 3 webinars on different products every single month. If you go into the university, and again, go to the university events calendar, you can see what's coming up. So there's always something new happening. And right there in the resources drop down. And one thing I do want to mention, our ConnectWise Certified program, where people can come in and get certified in any of our products, or not any of our products yet, PSA, Automate, CPQ, et cetera. We're working towards and developing an RMM certification. Right now, as we've launched this, we do not have the pay system back in place with the new system. So instead of making the certifications not available, they are free. So if you have anybody on your team that you think would benefit for coming in and getting certified on one of the PSA modules or on Automate CPQ, they can jump in here and take that training content and earn that certification right now without having to pay anything. Again, certification programs, ConnectWise Certified, free for right now. Other thing that we've rolled out, if you haven't checked it out, that I think is very beneficial, is we have this paths to product proficiency under the resources tab as well. Here we have talked a little bit more by role. So service delivery, finance and operations, sales and marketing. You can click a path and it talks a little bit about and drives through training content specifically for that area of your business. So if you haven't seen this out, this might be something that is beneficial. You can go ahead and check that out as well. I think it's really one of the things that people have often said about is like, but what's the journey? Okay, I've come on, I've done my onboarding. What's my next step? What's the journey to learn more? This is kind of our answer to that content journey. If you want to learn more about specific function and all the products that we use for that function, you can go here to these paths and then I'll drive you through that. Blueprint library. So we do have a bunch of new blueprints are getting redesigned. So if that's something you're interested in or have used before, you can check those out. We're adding new blueprints all the time and we're redesigning all of the old ones. So this is getting a big refresh right now. So, and again, purchasing new one that we just released or just updated. And that was all of my slides. I'm gonna run back over here now and stop sharing, but I will open it up again. I know it hasn't been a lot of participation, but I'll open up to any questions right now. So Scott, I will take care of you right after this.
I don't have any questions. Sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
I don't have any questions. I just wanted to say thank you for putting this together, Juan. I've just joined the Mountain Advisory Group with Marcy, so I was here to check out what this is all about. This was very, very impressive and very useful. So thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Awesome, thank you. I did have a question, Matt. When, like you mentioned that if you're, if you're an admin, partner admin, you get access to the train your team and all that, and that's the permissions. Are there other levels of permissions that will allow you to do other things, like less things, and does it get more restrictive? Or do you either an admin they can assign training, or you're just in your regular use so they can take training? Those are the only two?
Those
Okay.
are the two users we have. Yep.
Okay.
Nicole asked a question, how do you remove old users? This is tied to home now. So if you go into ConnectWise Home, into user and application settings and remove a user, it will deactivate the user and the LMS and remove them from your branch as well, so you shouldn't see them anymore. But if you do run into issues where you're seeing users that you shouldn't, maybe they got ported over beforehand, you can just send us an email, send a case to education, and we will update that for you. And I am going to drop that in there, right there. That is education@connectwise.com. If you have any questions about the LMS or run into any issues, that is the best way to get help on that. If you go in and hit support and go into support chat first or do something, it's going to go around in circles a few times before they route that over to education. So if it has anything to do with education or the learning management system, just come directly to us and someone will get with you almost immediately. Any other questions?
I don't have a questions when it comes to the actual use and when you shared, Matt. So thank you so much for that summary.
I appreciate you all letting me on and letting me take some of your time today.
Yep. I just have maybe a question for the group when it comes to possibly like best practices and how everybody is doing, when it comes to onboarding. I'll share what we do is, when we get a new employee, we assign them the training depending on their role, and specifically like for a technical team, we create like an onboarding project, and within that there's they have the time to go through all the training, and then once it gets completed, they that's how we verify that's been done. I don't know if anybody else has any other ways to either how you tracking your employees are completing the training or creating that accountability. Maybe there's some other ways out there, strategic ways of doing that. Or Matt, if you heard any, from partners as you suggest, what are the best practices for them?
Not a very talkative group today, Juan.
Everybody's being really quiet today. As you were explaining, I did go back and I was checking out some of our new employees, just to see. It was pretty easy just to find that person, click on their profile, and I was able to verify that they completed their training. Obviously, I never went into the reporting section, so thank you for sharing that, because now I know that it's out there, and we can run those. And same thing for the playlist. I think as we probably, when we're trying to onboard new products, or even right now we're trying to pilot some things, is maybe we don't want to assign the whole learning path, right, or the whole all the training, but you can just create something, just a specific playlist, like, hey, let's go ahead and tackle the first couple of modules, and then just keep adding to it. Or possibly, I know that a lot of times some employees, when they go through the orientation, it's like, wow, that was a lot, and but maybe I'm not going back and using some of those features, so it allows us to possibly be able to customize that a little bit as well. So I didn't know about that flexibility.
And all of that, you'll see some big changes coming, and then, like I said, in the next couple of weeks as we work through some things. And we'll hopefully it'll keep improving over time. So
Yeah.
I'm hoping the combination of incremental improvements that we make and the familiarity with the new system on the partner side is going to eventually make everybody get used to this, be happy with it as we move forward.
Yeah. And did you mention, like, as far as like you shared the roadmap, is there's visibility on the roadmap for the university over the changes that you guys are making?
What is that?
Is there any visibility on the roadmap for what you shared today?
There is not, but you know what? That is not a bad idea. We have roadmap for the other products. We should add the LMS to that. So I can look into doing that, but yeah, right now we don't.
Okay.
While we're talking, sorry, I got distracted there. Scott, you should be all set though, if you want to verify.
Great. Are there any other questions from the group? I don't think so.
Again, I appreciate you having me, everybody. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, man. Thank you, everybody, for joining. Don't forget that we're going to record it. This is being recorded. It will be posted. You'll receive the follow-up email. And if you have any suggestions or anything for future topics, again, just let us know. I'll put the link there also for the Slack at the beginning of the of our session. So make sure that you join that as well, because we love to hear from you. Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you, Matt.
Yep.
Everybody have a good afternoon.